What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of my new career mode. This is episode number 25, already a quarter of a century into the new career mode. And we start today's episode off with the first derby della of the season as Juventus come and take us on here at the Stadio Olimpico di Torino for the first derby della of the series. Really excited for this, of course. It's second versus first of last season, and of course, when the two games will face Juventus in this season, we're desperate to make sure we won't lose one of them, because last season that was one of the crucial reasons as to why we weren't able to win the title, and it did go to our rivals. And the first chance of the game would fall in the 20th minute as Çalhanoğlu finds Danilo down the right hand side and swings in across towards Immobile. He wins the header, and the new boy, well, I guess the old new boy, if you will, scores again and makes it Torino 1, Juventus 0. And in one of the biggest games this season, we get off to the perfect start. Just 21 minutes in, a great ball in by Danilo. Immobile out jumps his man in the centre, pops it past the goalkeeper, and makes it 1-0 to Torino. So already a second goal in the Serie A this season, just a few games in. Really looking forward to Immobile's development this season. Hopefully it'll turn out to be just as good as Poloski was last season. So 1-0 to Torino. In the 44th minute, another good chance here for Juventus. So this time as Gundogan finds Isla, and the Chilean strike goes into the side, netting him behind for a goal kick. So we almost equalise, but the shot was just off target. And just a couple of minutes later, Juventus won themselves a corner, but as it was headed away, Poloski tackles Martin Cáceres, and as the Uruguayan hits the deck here, we go on the break. It's Immobile in a foot race with Chiellini. He's going to beat him for pace. He also has the skill to beat him as well. Could have slid the ball across the face of the goal for the cutback and give it to Poloski. Never like to do that too many times though, so I went for the goal with Immobile myself, and I found the back of the net with him for the second time in the game. So Torino 2, Juventus 0, a really rapid counter-attack there. Just two players really only involved in it, to be honest. Poloski and Immobile is the latter finishing the ball into the bottom corner with the finesse shot, getting his third goal in the Serie A, and it's Torino 2, Juventus 0 going into the break. So the perfect first half really. Juventus had a couple of chances, but we were playing a bit better. In the 54th minute, they had a good chance to get themselves back in the game here as Carlos Tevez shoots but puts the shot into the side, letting him behind for a goal kick. So still 2-0 and a good opportunity wasted. And in the 56th minute here, a great chance for us to make it 3-0 in the game as we had ourselves a free kick. Gave it to Hakan Çalhanoğlu. Is a bit of a dead ball specialist. Went to try and curl it into the bottom corner there from a bit of a tight angle against Buffon, but as you can see, it goes just wide of the post and behind for a goal kick. So still Torino 2, Juventus 0. In the 59th minute, another good chance for Juventus to get themselves back in the game as Tevez whips in this cross. It's headed away by Danilo, but we failed to deal with it properly. And as Asamoah finds Bonucci here, he plays it inside towards Vidal. Vidal plays it back out wide to Bonucci, crosses the ball in. Vidal plays it backwards, and the referee awards a penalty to Juventus after Vidal hits the deck there. And Fabian Schär is the guilty party. So as you'll see on the replay, it happened pretty quickly, to be honest, after Vidal released the ball. But Schär, there wasn't really like a lunge or anything. It was sort of just a coming together of the bodies, really. And you can see why it's a penalty. Vidal had already released the ball, yes, but you can see why it's a penalty. And I didn't really have any complaints. So great chance for Juventus to get themselves back in the game as it's 2-0 right here, just past the hour mark. They really need to score eventually. Otherwise, they're going to be running out of time. It was going to be Carlos Tevez against Bernie. Who's going to come out on the battle of these wits? Tevez, the Argentine, or Bernie, the Italian? Who will be the hero for their side? It is Bernie, the goalkeeper, pulling off our first penalty save of this series. What a stop, and we get the ball away. So still Torino 2, Juventus 0 in the big game. The big players always step up. Bernie did sort of a big save there with a penalty, and it's still 2-0 as Pogba's shot then flashes wide at the post. So still 2-0 to Torino. Bernie bailing Fabian Schär out, and it's still 2-0. And in the 73rd minute, Florenzi goes on a run down the left-hand side, cuts inside, and Cáceres, who was already having a horrible game, takes out Florenzi, and the referee awards the second penalty of the game and the first one for us. So penalty to Torino. Cáceres, the Uruguayan, also gets a booking as well. And he really can't complain about it. It was a terrible, terrible challenge as Florenzi went down the left-hand side, skilled a couple of players, and it was an awful challenge by the South American. So great chance to make it Torino 3, Juventus 0 from the spot. No surprises, Immobile was going to stand up and take it. Poloski was our penalty taker last season. Not too sure who I'll have on penalties this season, but Immobile wanted to complete his hat-trick. A great chance to do so here, and as you can see, he does as well. He smashes the ball into the top corner, sends Buffon the wrong way, and it's Torino 3, Juventus Juventus 0. So a hat-trick for Immobile, his first hat-trick since returning to Torino. And, you know, we signed a guy for £11 million in the summer transfer window, and I was saying, you know, maybe it's a bit of an overspend and he won't turn out to be okay, but on the basis of these sort of performances, you know, it's going to be a great investment. 4 goals already in the Serie A this season, and it was how the game would finish. So Torino 3, Juventus 0, an absolutely superb result against Juventus. We had a big win against them last season at the Stadio Olimpico di Torino, and another really good one here as we do beat Juventus by 3-0. I think we deserved it as well. The stats, you know, we had more shots on target. They only had 1 shot on target in the entire game, but they were a little bit balanced. But I think the crucial thing in that game was that we were clinical and they weren't. So that's why we got the win, and I'm delighted with that. So final score, Torino 3, Juventus 0. No surprise, Immobile won my man of the match, and a really good performance in the first Derby della of the season. And we take on Palermo for the second of 3 games in today's episode here. And also I want to say, because there was no career mode yesterday, there's going to be 2 episodes of career mode today. So if you're enjoying the video right now and you're appreciating that we're going to have 2 episodes of career mode today, then please do leave a like. Obviously you don't have to if you don't want to, and there's no like target today, so you don't have to obviously, but if you can help the channel out by leaving a like, I really would appreciate it. Sorry there were no career mode episodes yesterday. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll know why. And there you go. Still do take on Palermo for the second of 3 games in today's episode, and the first chance would fall to us in the 28th minute as Martinez finds Quagliarella here. Great chance to open the scoring as Quagliarella back heels towards Martinez, who shoots, but the Venezuelan is denied by Viviano, and it's still 0-0. And in the 31st minute here, a great chance for Palermo to take the lead. Dybala finds his man through the centre, plays it out wide. A really good chance where he takes it round Danilo, plays it inside the area. The shot comes in, but it goes wide the post and behind for a goal kick. So a good chance there for Palermo to get themselves in front, but a pretty poor finish. Just before half-time, a good chance for us to open the scoring as Quagliarella gets taken out here, but releases the ball towards Immobile. He's running at Felipe Santana, chips it out wide towards Lazaro, takes his time, fake shots around his man and shoots, but the goalkeeper makes the save and eventually clears it away. So still Palermo 0, Torino 0 going into the break, and the final chance of the half would fall here as Bernie finds Darmian. He plays it through towards Benassi here. Benassi then offloads it towards Danilo at right back. Danilo plays a through ball towards Lazaro down the right hand side. The Austrian gives it back to Danilo, who whips in a first time cross, picks out Quagliarella, but his header goes just wide the post and behind for a goal kick. So still goalless going into the break, and in the second half, 4 minutes after the restart here, Darmian's on the ball and slides it through towards Immobile. Immobile takes it around his man with a quick little step over, gets inside the area and shoots, and his curling effort hits the post and is eventually cleared away. And it was how the game would finish as well. Palermo 0, Torino 0, so a goalless draw here away from home. Pretty disappointed, to be honest. You'll see by the match stats, I felt as though we possibly could have nicked a goal and nicked the winner from somewhere, but we sort of ran out of steam in the second half. And as you would have seen when the team I picked as well, had to make a lot of changes due to fitness reasons, and that's going to be a bit of a worry for us this season as well. Obviously last season we had no European competition, we only had 2 cup rounds, and the rest of the games were all in the league. This season, of course, we've got the Champions League to worry about as well, whilst trying to rotate the team and keep everyone happy in the league as well. It's going to be really difficult to maintain a good solid first 11 that remains fit for the entire season, even if we don't have too many injury problems just like last season. Regardless, take on Chievo Verona for the third and final game of today's episode. Here is the side currently sitting in 18th place, come and take us on at the Stadio Olimpico di Torino. So of course this is Poloski's former team. Last season he did score against his former club, both home and away I do believe, so hopeful of seeing the same thing happen here. And the first chance would fall to us directly from kickoff as Chievo Verona, attacking from right to left, give the ball away straight away. Çalhanoğlu wins it back, shoots from range, tries to catch the goalkeeper out, and it whistles just wide the post and goes behind for a goal kick. What a start that would have been, but it was still 0-0. In the 8th minute we win the ball back again here, and it comes to Çalhanoğlu, who finds Danilo down the right hand side, and I know I'm pronouncing Çalhanoğlu's name wrong, so please do forgive me, but I'm not too sure how you pronounce it. But anyway, the Turkish midfielder gets the ball back down the right hand side here, takes it around Baraghi, plays it inside towards Baselli, in towards Gabbiadini, offloads towards Poloski, and well, I said it just before the game, it was obviously going to happen, wasn't it? Alberto Poloski does score his first goal in a few games, makes it Torino 1, Chievo Verona 0, scoring against one of his former clubs and making it 1-0 to the home side. So Gabbiadini rolls him through, Poloski gets the goal, and that goal was just, you know, a flashback to last season. Gabbiadini led the league in assists, Poloski led the league in goals. Just like last season, they link up there and make it Torino 1, Chievo Verona 0. And in the 13th minute, a great chance to make it 2-0 as Poloski already on 1 goal, goes down the right hand side, plays a brilliant ball inside towards Immobile, who finesses the ball into the corner and makes it Torino 2, Chievo Verona 0. And at first I thought it was going to be ruled out for offside, but as you'll see, it did take a huge deflection. That's why the ball was so good off the Chievo Verona player, and that's what played Immobile onside. I thought he would have been called offside anyway, but even so, the linesman didn't call it, and Immobile was deemed to be onside, and he finessed the ball into the corner. So Torino 2, Chievo Verona 0. In the 29th minute, a great chance to make it 3-0 here as Çalhanoğlu takes takes it around his man Baragi and goes down the right-hand side. The number 7 doesn't have too much pace, but he's got enough to keep on get hold of the ball and take it round Baragi with a lovely little Berber spin. Gets himself inside the area and ends up smashing the ball into the back of the net and makes it Torino 3, Chievo Verona 0. So we signed him for £15 million. I really like the look of this guy early on, and that's another goal to start his Torino career, and a brilliant goal as well, because when he picked the ball up inside his own half, he just runs and runs and runs. Baragi does catch him up with the Berber spin, takes it round him, and the funniest thing about that goal as well was that the Chievo Verona defender, one of them, I don't know what he was trying to do, he just ran into his own teammate though and went flying. I thought that was absolutely hilarious. Terrible defending, yes, but a really nice finish by Çalhanoğlu to cap off a really nice run. So Torino 3, Chievo Verona 0, 3 goals inside just 32 minutes, and we are surely on course for the win already. But in the 36th minute, Chievo Verona would get themselves back in the game here, and sadly for us it will be through an own goal as well. Maximovic, our captain, scores the own goal here. Bernie comes to claim it. The Serbian centre-half goes to head it away, but can only flick it back past his goalkeeper into the back of his own net, and it's Torino 3, Chievo Verona 1, and also that is our first ever own goal with Torino. How about that? But still, Torino 3, Chievo Verona 1. Maximovic was the unlucky man there getting the own goal. And in the 39th minute, a great chance to make it 4-1 for Torino there. Çalhanoğlu wins this header. Eventually comes to Gabbiadini. He shoots from range. The goalkeeper makes the save though, puts it up in the air, and eventually it goes onto the roof of the net and behind for a corner. So still Torino 3, Chievo Verona 1 going into the break. 7 minutes after the restart though, Çalhanoğlu wins the ball back and plays it through towards Poloski. He was having a great game. He picks out the former Chievo Verona striker down the right hand side here, takes it around his man, reverse step over, rolls it off towards Florenzi, he shoots, but the goalkeeper makes the save, and Chievo Verona clear the ball away. So still 3-1 to Torino, but other than the own goal they scored, you know, through us obviously, it was a game which we controlled, and as Poloski goes through here, a great chance to make it 4-1, he ends up putting the shot wide of the post behind for a goal kick. We definitely deserved the win, we got the win, great to return to winning ways as well, and a very, very good performance at that. But that does end the episode, guys, so as always, big thank you for watching the video, really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed today's episode of my new career mode, then please do leave a like. A reminder, there will be a second episode up later on tonight, so if you can leave a like for a guaranteed double upload, really would appreciate it, because you don't have to if you don't want to, and I'll see you for that next episode very soon.